Yo, yo, yo. It's your
Yes,
boys. It's your boys, man. A little quick Sunday rock out. You know what I mean? Love that.
yeah, yeah.
Yo, yo. It's your boys, man. It's the crew. The Fire Nights crew, man. We back again Sunday morning. Want to give y'all a little pregame show. You know what I mean? A little remote access for the football heads out there, man. The sports heads out there, man. How everybody doing, man? Everybody feeling good? How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling marvelous, man. Man, like I always do. Uh, as we start off, man, to all my football people on this football Sunday, I would like to say hello and how are ya?
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. It's no different. It's no different, man. No different. Little one wanted to bring y'all a little pregame show, man. It's a big day today, man. Lots of big games going on, man. A lot of big happenings in sports, man. Um, there's a lot of things going on, man. A lot of things transpired over the last 24 hours.
Yes.
This is a huge Sunday, man. It's got marquee matchups, man, littered all over the TV today, man. Some big matchups, man. I'm excited, man. I don't know about you, but I'm excited, man.
I
I'm
know
excited.
I know at 4:25, man, my interest is really going to peak. I mean, I know I'm going to be overdosing on some football, but I think my favorite coach of all time is going up against what a lot of people would like to call the juggernaut, the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. Is really going to send my football fandom to a high. You know what I'm saying? It's going to get me peaked. It's going to get me nice and right. Like I said, my favorite all-time coach, Andy Reid, is coaching against Buffalo Bills, man, who is not a team to be played with. Josh Allen is a man. You're going to have to bring him down. All this grabbing people and hoping the referees blow the whistle. It's not going to work with Josh Allen, but he's playing against a magician in Patrick Mahomes.
He's
You
a
know,
man
so
amongst boys.
that's gonna get me really nice and tight. And then to finish me off tonight, man, there's a classic
Clash of
NFC
Titans,
East
man.
clash
A
of the
gritty
Titans, man.
divisional game.
You got the undefeated Eagles against the surprising Cooper Rush in defense. Michael Parsons led Cowboys coming into Philly. It's going to be hostile. It's going to be crazy. I'm going to have my popcorn ready. I'm going to be watching the game just like everybody. Yes, yes, yes. And I got some premium
Facts, facts,
Moose Munch
facts, man.
popcorn. You know what I'm saying, man? So I'm ready for this football Sunday. How about you,
I'm
Coach?
good, man. I can't complain, man. You can't get no better than this, man. Lots of big games, man. Huge games. Huge games. And it's a lot. I don't want to call them must-win games. But we are in what's this week 6 right now, right? It's week 6. So at this point, you're starting to really see at this point, who's rounding into shape, man, and who's, contenders and pretenders. And, some teams got their back against the wall where, a loss this week, man, might bury them or put them in a very difficult spot, man. You know what I mean? So, let's kick this thing off, man, as far as these games, man. Get a couple quick picks in, man. Who's your who's your fresh fire, man? Your fresh game of the week, man. Let's go. Let's start with that, man. Game of the week, game of the weekend.
Game, well, really, man, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I know it's two of them out there. Like I said, it's gonna pique my interest. But being from the East Coast, being from this region, being from this area, man, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys is one that's really means a lot to this whole area. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be fun to see when I go into work tomorrow, the different attitudes and the different communication between people.
Mood at work tomorrow.
It's definitely going to be some, hey, man, you're going to have to move out the way at the water cooler, man. Oh, man, your team must have lost yesterday. I didn't happen to notice that, man. You know, so it's going to be a little bit of that tomorrow. It's going to be interesting to see.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting to see. So that one right there, man, that's my fire game of the week, man. Eagles versus Cowboys.
I'll tell you what. I mean, that's one of the obvious, but it's another big game too, man. I think the Giants Ravens is a big game too, man. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why it's a big game. Because for the Giants got to keep pace, because regardless of who loses that game tonight, they're in a prime position, whether it's the Cowboys going to 5-1 or whether it's the Eagles going to 6-0. The Giants got to keep pace with whoever winning that game, at least. You know what I'm saying? And you got the Ravens, who on the other hand, that particular division, you got Cincinnati not necessarily performing well. You got Pittsburgh not doing well. And you got Cleveland, who's kind of like, it kind of there. Baltimore is kind of in that same place. So this is a big victory for them, man. I think they got to get this win, man. They got to get this win. So I think both teams have a lot to play for in this particular situation. So I'm going to keep my eye on that game. You know what I mean? That game looks like one that's going to be one that,
To piggyback on your point, man, Baltimore is a team that a lot of people have seen. It seems like what people have seen from them has not equated to the wins and loss column. So they haven't distanced themselves from anyone in the AFC North. Mm-hmm. So they really need this game because it looks like everyone clearly says they're head and shoulders talent-wise and on paper above everyone in their division. But it seems like they're either tied or maybe only a game ahead of a lot of people in their division. And they really need this game to distance themselves, or with all that potential and what we've seen of them, it means nothing if you're tied with everybody else in your division with all these games left to play.
Facts. So big games, man. Big games. I'm real excited, man. Look like it's big games all day long. Got Minnesota and Miami. What you think about that game?
Well, this game right here, man, I think Miami's on their third string quarterback because Tua Tagovailoa and Teddy Bridgewater are both. Well, no, I want to say Tua's out of concussion protocol, but he didn't practice all week. But both of them are injured this week. So they're on their third string. I want to say his name is Skylar Thompson.
Right.
So I want to give that man a good luck. You know what I'm saying? This is your first. I'm saying, not saying in any flippant type of way. This is your first NFL start. You're going to need some optimal things going on.
Right.
And with my pick, the Minnesota Vikings to win the NFC. That was my early.
Well, you picked them early. And I piggybacked on that when I thought about it. So it looked like that might be coming to fruition because the rest of the teams in that division, Lions showed they're much improved on offense, but I think defensively leaves much to be desired. Although Hutchinson looks like the real deal for them. Yes. But still leaves a lot less to be desired on the defensive end. The Bears are the Bears, man. Until they get the right pieces around that kid, you know what I mean? You got to play to his strengths. I let everybody. What if you did watch the game and you wasn't watching paint dry? A lot of the commentary was right on point about what's going on in Chicago. You got to play to that kid's strengths. You got to put pieces around him. So Chicago is kind of like one of them teams that they'll play tough. But as far as winning, they got a lot of ingredients missing to win games. And as far as Green Bay is not necessarily on the same level that they have been due to lack of weapons, due to Aaron Rodgers' boneheadedness or greed. I think everybody will get their money, but sometimes it's to the detriment of the team's success. You leave yourself with really no weapons at that point. So the division is for the Vikes to take it. It's just pretty much theirs. So with that being said, like I said, I piggyback off that pick you made, and it looks good at this point. It looks solid. You might want to put that one in the books because I think they may run away. Plus, their quarterback is a regular season quarterback, and he can I think he, can get the job done now, and probably the weakest that the division has been. So, I think that's one. Plus, Green Bay got an intriguing game against a team that's playing with some confidence, man. The Jets. They playing with some confidence right now. It's not the same old Jets. Robert Saleh has got them boys balling. And another thing you got to realize is that the Jets have some talent on that team. The Jets have some talent on that team, and they playing with renewed confidence. So that's gonna be a tough one, man, for Green Bay. Keep your eye on that game too. That's gonna be a tough one. We got a Monday night. We got a Monday night doozy. And the only reason I say it's a doozy is because it's a divisional game. And you can never take a divisional game for granted. You're not technically. I always tend to throw records out the window when it comes to divisional games because records mean nothing. It's more about, it's few times where you blow a division foe out. You know what I mean? It happens. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but that's not the norm for division games. Division games are gritty backyard brawls, and you know what I mean. So we'll see what happens in that thing, man. But fantasy wise, I need Herbert to go off. But it's always like a Monday night divisional game. So it's just something about a prime time divisional game that gets your blood pumping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be real interesting.
It's just a sidebar note, man. I just wanted to say you was talking about the division and the Chicago Bears, man. From I don't know I want to say maybe the last 20 years, man. At least the last 20 years, man. Why are they so adverse to offense in Chicago?
I don't know.
I mean, I've seen them pick after pick and free agent signing after free agent signing, and it's just defender after defender after defender after defender. And nobody
I don't know, man. It's weird.
Offensive side of the ball, man, and it's just like, wow, man.
Offensively negligent.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's I mean, you definitely are in the gray area. You definitely have a foot dabbling in offensive negligence when you just keep putting what you put out on offense, man. I heard a commentator say, man, this isn't even JV football. This is freshman football on a Monday afternoon. And if you playing on a Monday afternoon, that's freshman football, man.
Yeah, that's freshman football. Yeah.
What is going on here, man?
Well, it's almost like they've given into their identity of the Midway Monsters, and they just literally said, "Man, this is what we're gonna be, and we're gonna run with that, and that's that, man." I can't even remember the last, aside from Justin Fields, I can't remember the last offensive first round pick that the Bears have had of any significance.
And you would think that they would invest pretty much all of their assets into just building the offense, looking at the history of Chicago offense. If it's not Walter Payton, just running through everyone, if it's not Jim McMahon playing quarterback like a running back, you had Jeff George, a season here or there that could sling the rock. You had Jay Cutler and Brandon Marshall, and that's 5 legitimate offensive people that I've named in 40 years?
Nah, maybe it's longer than that because you figure they've been around. I mean, it's always some power type of football.
It's
always power football with them.
They've been playing power football, line them up. Almost, for some reason, I would like to think they have a fullback on the field, but they don't.
Nah, they refuse. They refuse to change their identity, man, in no way, shape, or form. And they are. Even the Super Bowl team was won with that same identity.
Yeah, you could get away with that in '85. They're probably the last team that could get away with that when they went to the championship in 2000 and whatever. Because they was getting kick returns, punt returns.
You getting special teams touchdowns. I think they led the league in that. I think they led the league that year with like a +20 turnover ratio, where they were converting like turnovers to touchdowns at a like historic rate. So even then, it had nothing to do with offense. It had to do with like defensive touchdowns and things like that. So I don't know.
Let the record reflect. There was a popular phrase that was birthed from that called the peanut punch. He punched out like 15 fumbles that year. He took back you don't get that all the time. So it was just like the great late great coach Danny Green has said. He was like, they are what their record says they are. If you want to crown them, then crown them. They had them dead to rights, just on offense, like we're beating you, and then they just kept shooting themselves in the foot. And it was like, defensive touchdown after special teams touchdown after defensive touchdown. And it was just like, wow, what is going on? And these guys took that all the way to the Super Bowl. Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember that year.
If I ain't mistaken, Devin Hester took back a kick in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really needed those plays to take us to the Super Bowl. And it's like, I'm not trying to say that their defense was anything less than, or their special teams was anything less than. It's really an indictment on the offense.
Yeah. Over decades. Like, this is just how they've decided to be. And, it is what it is, man. But moving on. You know what I mean? I'm going to spend no time talking that much about the Bears. So, it is what it is, Any other games stick out to you, bro? Any other games stick out?
Well, there's a game that I always, I always like to look at when there's some type of controversy and things like that. I like to think, always like to look at how teams play when they've had some type of upheaval or something like that. When Carolina fired their coach, and they're already on a backup, or their backups in, he's hurting all this. I want to see how they respond to things that's going on inside their building and stuff like that, because you still have a game to play. You just got, your coach just got fired. I'm thinking he's owed like $40 million.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you got people hurt and in and out the lineup. I just want to see how they play today, with the crazy week that they've had going on against who they're playing. And also, with some of the comments that came out of the Washington Commanders camp, I want to see how they respond on the field as well. Those are games.
I think we might be without Carson Wentz, who probably might be gone for about 6 weeks, which,
get out of here.
It could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. They're seeking a second opinion. But it looks like to me we may have to go with Heinicke for a little bit. My thought process is this. It is, once we're mathematically out of the playoff race, I want to see what the kid has, Sam Howell. Because ultimately, we're probably going to be looking at maybe a top 5, top 7 pick. So you got to evaluate that kid that you drafted ASAP. Big arm, big time competitor. I personally like him. Can read the defense. He's athletic. So, you play Taylor Heinicke, and until when we're mathematically eliminated, then you go with that kid, whether it's, late in the season, maybe give him 6 games. Give him 6 games to get some NFL action. And then because that's the only way you can really assess, because that pick, if we get a top 7 pick, that pick is going to be valuable. I mean, there's a high probability we fuck it up, you know what I mean, and pick the wrong guy, because the last 27 years would say, yeah, we probably might pick the wrong guy. And even if we do pick the right guy, he might fucking get hurt. It's just unfortunate that we might be snake bitten. And I'm starting, that's the reality that's starting to hit me, that we might very well be snake bitten, man, in terms of, our owner, because ever since he's taken over, man, this shit has turned into a shit can show, man, a dumpster fire. So, I don't have any reason to believe that it's going to turn around until, you cut the cancer out. So, and I don't even know if that's going to happen, because, this little motherfucker is digging in. So with that, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story.
Those were some things, man, that I saw that it definitely raised my eyebrow, because it seems like the Washington Commanders have been under investigation for like the last 6 or 7 years. To me, they've just been under just constant investigation.
Yeah, it's that guy. It's him.
For one reason or another. But for him, now this is alleged, but for him to come out and say some of the things that he said, that, he's like, this is, proverbially, I'm paraphrasing, this is bigger than Nino Brown. I got dirt on
When you
owners.
get that kind of rhetoric, you already know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm like, what's this? So I'm like, I'm here for it. Like, yo, because you're not going to tell me that there are other owners that have some type of things like that on their record. He's not the only one. He's not the only one that has something like that on his record. It just his is the only one that has came to the light. It is risen to the level of today's social media. Today's just social climate. Oh, okay, you're here now, but you couldn't tell me that there aren't other executives. Like he said, I got something on Roger Goodell in the NFL. Like,
Yeah,
wow.
like you saying shit like that, man. It's like, bro, you might be a problem, man. It might be in the best interest of the league to deal with you swiftly.
Yeah, and
They might have to deal with him judiciously, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If it's bigger than Nino Brown and he started letting some things go, it ain't really too much people can do once it rises to the light of when
Yeah.
people like, oh, you didn't did something crazy, or so we got to get at you too. So if he has something, which I don't know, and it's alleged because I heard he didn't say it, but other people have said he said it. So I'm like, it's alleged as of right now, but if he got something on these people, I'm here to hear it,
Okay.
I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I mean, of course, as a fan, and you want to see the bullshit, yeah, let that thing fly, Danny boy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let that thing fly. Facts. But listen, let's get some quick picks, man. Let's run down these games real quick, man. Okay. So first, the 1 o'clock games, let's get them over with. Jags, Colts. Do we care, or we're gonna pick a winner? Do we give a fuck?
I don't know. Give me the Jags.
No, well, Jags at the Colts. Does that change your mind?
Kinda. Give me the Colts.
You the Colts? All right. Yeah. I'm gonna personally pick the Colts. Give me the Colts. You got the Bengals at the Saints.
Give me the Bengals.
Give me the Who Dats, man.
Okay.
Who Days or Who Dats? Which one is it? Who Days or Who Dats?
I think the Who Days.
Because it's weird because both teams are Who Days. Like I think it's the Bengals that are the Who Days.
Okay, well, yeah,
that's
the
weird.
Who Bowl. This is the Who Bowl then.
Yeah, the Who Bowl. Whoville. It's the Whoville. All right. So we got the Niners at the Falcons.
Give me the Niners.
Give me the Niners. I'm gonna take the Niners, man. I'm gonna take the Niners. We got the Vikes at the Dolphins. We already picked the Vikes.
Yeah, the Vikes.
We got the Cardinals at the Seahawks.
That's a tough one. Interdivision.
I'm gonna go with the Seahawks, man. Geno Smith balling. The back is out, man. Rashad Penny is out though. That's the only thing.
They got my man Kenneth Walker III that was putting it down out with Michigan State last year.
That position in Seattle right now at this very moment might be interchangeable, so it might not hurt him as bad.
You know what? Give me the fighting Genos of Seattle.
Yeah, I'm taking Seattle, man. I'm taking Seattle. We got Ravens Giants. Who we got, man? That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one from the standpoint of both teams playing. Both the Giants are playing well, but the Ravens need this game.
Yeah. Man, what's the temperature? Which way the wind blowing? You know what?
Hey, it's in MetLife, so just look, step outside. Step outside. It's in MetLife.
It's a tougher pick, but I'm gonna go with Action Jackson in them. But it's tough, man. It's tough.
I'm gonna go with the G-Man. Give me the G-Man.
I ain't mad at you.
Give me the G-Man. Only it's they got a wave going right now. And as much as it pains me to pick a team in my division to win, give me the G-Man. Give me the G-Man. Got the Patriots and the Browns. I ain't gonna stand on ceremony. I got the Browns mollywopping the Pats.
Give me the Pats. They playing in New England?
Nah, man. It's in Cleveland, man. It's in Cleveland.
I think it'd be a low scoring game. Give me Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm going with Cleveland. I'm thinking they're gonna mollywop the Pats, man. The Buccaneers against the Steelers in Steeltown.
Give me the Buccaneers, man. I'm not sure.
I'm going with the Bucks, man. I'm going with the Bucks. The Bucks need this game.
Yeah,
Bucks need this game.
Kenny Two Gloves. He's not quite ready yet.
Jets at the Packers. Who you got?
The Jets have played that into a tough game to call.
I got the Packers by 7.
I'm saying it's in Green Bay. Give me Green Bay.
It's in Green Bay. It's in Lambeau. We got the Panthers in SoFi against the Rams?
I think the Rams need this one just to
Oh, they need it
think
bad.
off of them. This is a good game to get the stink off. You know what I'm saying? I really got feeling that this might be a romping. This has all the
Think it's a
right.
romp, yeah.
It has
This
all
this,
the right.
this got all the makings of a bounce back game for the Rams, man. For the St. Louis, Los Angeles, St. Louis, the Los Angeles Rams. Yeah, this got all of the smell of a romper room.
Yeah.
We got the first of our marquee games. Whew. Bills Chargers, bro, in Arrowhead. Because this is the marquee game, give me your keys to success, man. Keys to success for the Bills. 2 keys to success.
Keys to success for the Bills. What I will say is if they can find a running game, that will balance them out a little bit more. I'm not going to say they can do it, but if they can find a running game, that's 1. And 2, if they can just neutralize, not saying let anybody go off, but neutralize those guys, the Chiefs receiving core, because they sort of kind of got a banged up defensive backfield. But if they can just neutralize them, I think they can pull it out. But that's easier to say than done. Give me the Chiefs in a close one, 33-31.
Chiefs in a close one?
Yeah.
All right, this is in Arrowhead. You know what the funny thing is here? I think the keys to success for both teams is limiting the opposing quarterback's touches, which is weird. Yeah. So what you said kind of goes along with, somebody's got to establish some ball control, man. This thing can't just be, racing up and down the field, man. Somebody's got to establish some ball control. You know what I mean? Keep their defense fresh so their defense can make some plays. A tired defense is a sloppy defense, man. I'm sorry. So I don't know if it's going to be super high scoring. I'm thinking something like 28-24, something along those lines, a 3-point game. I'm gonna go with Patty and the kids, man. I still believe in Patty, man. Even without, like I said, I've been saying it before the season. I've been saying it during season. Even without Tyreek Hill, I still think Patty, unfortunately, the league forced them to play a certain way and it prepared them for this. So I got the Chiefs, man, 28-24. Let's see what happens. And our second marquee game, but not the last game of the week, got the big one, man. NFC clash, man. NFC clash of the Titans, man, in that division. Cowboys, Eagles. Where you going with this one? Keys to the game for the Cowboys.
Keys to the game to the Cowboys are if they can stop the run and really force Jalen Hurts to throw from the pocket to consistently and with success. I think that will be playing into the strength of that vaunted defensive front of the Cowboys. The more times, huh?
I said,
yeah,
I know what it feels like.
Exactly. So the more times you can get him to face that that's like you're playing into our strength. I think that is a key. If you can stop the run and make him pass and you can contain him in the pocket, I think that's a key and a recipe for success for Dallas. Even though that can be true, I think a bigger key for Dallas is taking the ball out of Cooper Rush's hands, which I don't think they will be able to do enough. I think he will be called on a little bit more tonight to make plays that I haven't seen.
He makes some big plays. Yeah. Can he make some big? He's shown up to this point that he can make some big throws, but I think this is a game where he's going to have to make more than usual big plays because I think that the Eagles defense is opportunistic. He hasn't. The one thing about Cooper Rush, and I'll say this to his credit, he hasn't turned the ball over.
True.
He hasn't turned the ball. I mean, everybody has turnovers, but he hasn't had any turnovers that have killed the Cowboys. Like he's bound. You're waiting for the game where he has 2 or 3 turnovers, and I don't know based on what I've seen that's going to happen. The Cowboys. I think the Cowboys, like you said, have to make Jalen Hurts a pocket quarterback, and they not only that, they have to get to him. Containing them is not enough because what they've shown is on those edges, they've shown those receivers have the ability to make huge plays. So even if you make him a pocket passer, he's slinging this pill downfield, and they've made some huge plays downfield. And I'm not talking about I'm not talking about just them having to step on a guy. They've gone and gotten 50-50 balls.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you keep him in the pocket, you still have to play defense on the back end, which the Cowboys do have back end coverage. So I think more than anything, they have to get to Jalen Hurts, not just keep him in the pocket. They have to get to him because you can't just simply rely on, okay, well, Jalen Hurts is not going to hurt us. Well, he's been hurting teams all year with the long ball. Those are two big play receivers that they have. And this is probably their best matchup of the season going up against Diggs and Brown and that pass rush. So it's gonna be a hell of a game, man. I mean, I'm happy because somebody gonna lose, but I'm also gonna be happy because somebody gonna win. So it's almost like a catch-22 for me. So I mean, with that being said, man, the Cowboys have had the Eagles number, man. I mean, for a long time, a long time. I think it stops tonight, man. It might stop tonight. It might stop tonight, man. And a barn burner, man. I got this as a 21-17 Eagles, man. 21-17. But it could very well go 21-17 the other way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to be difficult because I think the Cowboys have had the Eagles number, but I think it's got to stop at some point. You know what I mean? And if the Eagles want to prove that they are who they are, this is the perfect game. This is the perfect game to accomplish two things. Get 2 games up in the division, get a big divisional win, and prove you are who you want to be. You know what I mean? And prove that the turnaround is 100% completed. We on our way. We the big dogs in the NFC. This is what it is. Right. But the Cowboys in their mind are thinking, man, we got y'all. We already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? They're already chirping. So I think you could go either way, but if you're asking me my pick, I'm going to go ahead and go out on a ledge. I'm going to say Eagles, but it could be 21-17 the other way. You know what I'm saying? Now, Monday night. I mean, not a super marquee game, but it's a divisional game, which always piques my interest.
Yes.
Broncos, Chargers. Who we got?
Right now, I think the team that's actually playing better is the Chargers. Even though, you know, I'm a person that's been on record.
It's in SoFi. Let me add that. It's in SoFi.
Right. And I've been a person that's been on record of like, I got to see a little bit more from the coach and the team and a couple of the players before I start, you know, heaping some things on them. But to see what I've seen from Denver, I'm like, a lot of times,
you really
the talent is, you know what I'm saying, is it matches up in the NFL. And you win or lose games on the margin. And right now, the Broncos are losing the games, even though I think the Chargers are losing their games as well as opposed to their opponents winning them. I think the Chargers will, I guess, less lose the game than the Broncos will
make less mistakes. They'll make the least amount of mistakes in this particular game.
You know what I'm saying? Because you'll look up, I think they'll still go for a 4th and 13. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, you know, but the Broncos are still, they'll go for a 4th and 14. Like, okay, well, I guess they're just trying to outdo each other. You know?
Yeah, that dude believes in his Chargers, man, to his detriment.
Yeah, and that's one thing I can say. There is a belief, like, all right, we're going for it, full bore. You know, all right, cool. He's been very consistent with we're going for it. I have confidence in that. So at least that's a reoccurring theme. The reoccurring theme is in Denver is I don't think this guy knows what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? So that's a narrative I don't think you want on you. I would rather have, I'm going for it than is this guy overwhelmed at his job.
This might not be your thing, bro. Might not be your thing.
You know,
might not be your thing.
I'll take Chargers and SoFi with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chargers, man. I'm gonna go with the Chargers and SoFi, man. And honestly, I don't think it's gonna be close. I think it'd be 28 to 10, 28-14, something like that. It's not gonna be close. I think the Chargers blitz them. Herbert's due for a big one, a big explosion. This is the one division game I think is going to, you know, I think this is going to be a mollywop right here. Chargers win going away. Broncos can't do anything with the Chargers, I don't think. So with that being said, closing thoughts, man. It's 12:58, man. About to be tip off, man. What we can do is, man, we can come back a little later on. Check the results, compare to what we picked, and see how see the accuracy, man. We get the big board going, man, and start putting some records to these predictions, man. And what we may do is, man, we'll take 3 surefire. We'll put 3 games up. You know what I mean? And we'll let those stick for the record. You know what I mean? We'll do that. But any closing thoughts, bro? Closing thoughts before we kick off these games.
Man, I'm great. Tune in. I'm great. Set my computer up, my phone up, my TV up. I got my cards, my phone, my fantasy all out.
Got your bets in?
Man, I'm in across the board. So I'm great. Lock in. I'm great. Lock in and watch all my successes and failures. I got a huge game today in the Fire Ice Fantasy Football League to get me back into contention. Is to get me back to 500. I started off 0-3. I'm on a 2-game winning streak. I told you it's a long season. I do this for real. So I'm great. Lock in. If it ain't about
I'm number 4 ranked, so I'm good. I'm cool. This is gonna be a tough one right here. I got a couple key players out. We'll see what happens, man. You know, every week is different, man. You know, every week is different. I've been slow and steady wins the race, and we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens, man. It's your boys, man. It's an early Sunday. We'll be back a little later on and check on some of these picks, check on these games, man. It's your boys, man. We out. Go.
Nice podcast, man. And it's certain moments that you have when you do these things, and I think it's more the moment.
These guys came from Woodland, Delaware.
Where would you from?
Now, who's fighting right now? Who's fighting right now? Who's fighting right now? Who's Let me see him. Let me see him. Let me see him. Let me see him.
Listen, man, it's your boy D-Mac, man. Fire Nice Podcast.
Let me see him.